Well, it's a beautiful morning in Colorado, and I'm going to go over my list of the 200 motorcycles that I've ridden to see if yours is on that list, but also it's for my own posterity. I keep the list on my phone. It's traveled through several phones so far, but here it will be on YouTube. So follow along, see if you have started out on these bikes, have ridden these bikes, and you can leave me some comments below. So speaking of bikes, what are we on today? Well, I bought the Tenere and I put the wrong front tire on it. This is a nasty tire to have on an 80/20 bike. Yeah, I'm only riding on these two sets of nubs right here. These two right there, yeah. And they squish, which means if you get behind a semi, the vortex of the semi can throw you into a death wobble. That is not very fun. So I'm trying to wear them down. Anyway, the first bike, well, I do have it on my phone. So this phone right here has the list, and I always add to the list every time I ride a bike, at least a bike that qualifies. So the first bike I ever rode was a Honda Z50. It was a mini bike. It looked like a little baby motorcycle. It looked like a Honda Monkey. We'll get to that. The Honda Z50 had two speeds, as I recall, first and second gear. If you were in second gear, wow, you were probably trolloping along at a really rapid 18 miles an hour. Who knows? The Honda Z50. It was not one of these little frames with a lawnmower engine in it. It actually looked like a motorcycle, which made it really cool. And I got my Harrison Ford scar under my beard. The mini bike didn't belong to me. It belonged to a guy named Wally who let me ride it. And I rode it all around his property. And to put that scar in perspective, he says, "You know, I got 200 trees on my property and you ran into my only propane tank." That's what 1 second of daydreaming and inattentiveness can do. So, fun times. Moving along to bike number 2. I bought when I was a teenager. So this is some years. I went from age 9 to about age 17. When I bought my first bike out of my own pocket, it was $200. It was a 1979 Yamaha DT 175. It was gray. It was basic. It was kickstart. Had no battery. It was an enduro. I loved it. Did I ride it in dirt very much? No, not really. Mostly pavement. The story with that one was, had it for about 2 years. Then after a cold winter, I didn't know anything. I was a kid. After a cold winter, the carburetor gelled out, and I sold it to a buddy for like $60. Him and a friend fixed the carburetor, and heaven only knows what they sold the bike for. Moving along, because 200 bikes can get old if I do this. Another Kickstarter. My dad bought it for me to ride. It was his bike, but he bought it for me. 1979 Yamaha SR500, not the SR400 that was re-released. This was an SR500 thumper. Also enduro class, even though it looked like a street bike. It had a monoshock. It had a Kickstarter. Had no battery. Enjoyed that bike for a little while. Pickup coil, I think, went out. Dropped it off at a friend's house and then moved from Wisconsin to Cartoonafornia, thus leaving the bike behind, and the title gave it to him. Let's see, that same buddy, he had a 1986 Yamaha Phaser. He had me ride it back from his work while he left for vacation one day. Riding a Phaser through Milwaukee. He told me no wheelies, please. Okay. 1975 Honda CB750. I'd moved to Cartoonafornia and promptly got divorced. Gave her the car, and I bought this 1975 Honda CB750 as my sole transportation for a while. Then eventually I ended up back with the car. Imagine that. The Honda CB750, it dripped gas. It took turns dripping gas out of each carburetor bowl. It had 4. Yeah, it was a lot of fun keeping that from dripping gas, but it did well. Next, so now we're all the way into the 90s, I think. Suzuki GS850. Bought it for $600. Fine bike. Really decent bike, actually. I had kids then. My kids were small. My son was second grade. My daughter was in kindergarten. And I decided after this little blue hair almost drove me into a curb because she didn't look before she changed lanes, I decided it was best to get off bikes for a while. And I went some years without a bike. But the GS850 was that bike until I sold it to raise my kids. So then my kids became teenagers. They were out of the house a lot. My duty as a father to keep them entertained was failing, sadly. And I was getting bored. And I asked my wife, what did we do before kids? And she says, well, you used to like riding motorcycles. I did, didn't I? I called her the next day and I said, honey, I need you to pick me up and drop me off at the motorcycle dealership. And she said, why, are you going to go look at bikes? And I said, no, I already bought one. And that bike was a 2012 Yamaha V-Star 950. The engine was mounted to the frame, so that thing vibrated something fierce. Yamaha V-Star 950, I'll bet you've seen them. You may have owned one, you may have ridden one. Yeah, they didn't vibrate like a Harley, they vibrated like a vibrator. It's pretty bad. Next up, I rode a 2013 Honda CB 1100. That was just a test ride, and I loved that bike, I really did. Yeah, it's kind of a throwback, a modern throwback, and I've done a review on it. 2013 Honda NC 700X. Yeah, tall bike. I think that was the DCT. 2014 Honda CB 1000R. Ooh, big engine, fast bike, naked bike. The 2014 Honda F6B. The F6B, strangely enough, I know I've ridden a Goldwing in there too. Maybe I have these slightly out of order. F6B is basically a Goldwing without the top case. Then there was demo days at Thunder Mountain Harley, and I rode a 20-something Harley Electroglide, which is why I haven't ridden anymore because I don't remember that year. And it was probably 2016, 2017, I don't know. Also rode a 20-something Harley Heritage Softail. And I know that you Harley riders are like, oh, I bet you loved it, I bet you loved it, why didn't you buy it? Not so much. The engine seemed very agriculturalist. Not a whole lot of power, a whole lot of shaking, but not a whole lot of power. That was my first foray into the twin cams. Not a huge fan. The 2013 BMW GS 1150. Tall, really tall, kind of scary tall. The test ride was predetermined, and I had to go around a very hairpin turn with it on the test ride, and I only had one toe to the floor. Yeah, the 1150. That was a tall BMW. Not real crazy about it. 2013 Harley Switchback. The definitive paint shaker. You could strap a can of paint to that engine. The whole thing shook as bad as a Sportster 1200 engine. Yeah, that was one shaky bike. I said, nope, not interested again. Where are we here on the list? The first bike that really scared me. 2013 Harley V-Rod Muscle. So I came into Thunder Mountain with the V-Star 950, and I was okay with the idea of trading up to a Harley, and they handed me the V-Rod Muscle. Now the V-Rod engine, you know, coming from predominantly metric bikes, they thought for sure I'd love the V-Rod engine, and I do. It's a great engine. This particular model, the V-Rod Muscle, though, had like cafe bars. So forward, this is designed by a boardroom. Forward controls and like cafe bars, folded me completely in half. I had no center of gravity to move the bike with. You're just steering the bike is all you're doing. Yeah, not a fan of that bike at all. Rode it around the parking lot, didn't even take it out on the street, turned around and said, nope, not this one. That's my experience with a V-Rod muscle. However, there is more V-Rods to come, at least one. V-Star 1100, this was a bigger cruiser, this was a bigger V-twin. The 1100 was a fine engine. If you have a V-Star 1100, I applaud you. It was a nice bike, heavy, but nice. What year was it? I don't know. It was a 20-something, and once again, now I can't ride another V-Star and add it to the list of the 1100 because I don't know what year the first one was. However, it couldn't have been more than a 2020 because this was before then. Yamaha Roadster 1700 2005. Buddy of mine bought this. He let me take it out first. That had the potato feel, which is funny because Harley Davidson copyrighted that sound and feel, and here was a V-Star Roadster, Yamaha Roadstar that had that exact same feel and sound. It was sexy. My buddy bought it, had it for a few years. V-Star 1300. This is like the 1100, but even bigger, a little more refined. Anyway, that was pretty cool. Honda Nighthawk 250. Would have bought this one, but the dealership I was at the time had it priced $1,000 above Blue Book. And I don't mean Blue Book. At the time, it would have been NADA value. Yeah, there are some dealerships I will not buy a bike from. And a lot of them are in Loveland, strangely enough. Yeah, $1,000 above Blue Book. Blue Book said like $3,000. They wanted $4,000 plus fees. No way. Was gonna buy it for my wife. Kawasaki Ninja 250. Once again, I don't have the year. Then again, I'm not out to ride more Kawasaki 250s. Harley Street 750, 2014. Once again, looking for a bike that might be good for my wife. And the Harley Street 750, yeah. Let's take something that sounds kind of like a very cheaply made Honda, rake the front end because it's Harley, and then, don't assemble it here, but build all the parts in India. Not a fan. Not a fan of the Harley Street 750. The engine sounded positively terrible. You could hear the valves and everything, and it was brand new. It's like, come on, guys. Wow. 1978 Yamaha DT175. Sound familiar? It's 1 year prior to the model I owned, and that's because a private seller, had it, and I just had to ride it one more time. He wanted like $1,500 for it, and I was sorely tempted to buy it until I think we discovered it had no title. The 1991 Honda Nighthawk 750. Oh, this was a looker, and I have a photo. It had a custom paint job. Somebody took everything out of the pipes. I had to get creative to put some baffling back into it. My wife rode it for a little while. It was too top heavy for her, too powerful for her. I got that. And so we had to do something about it. But now, to give you a change of scenery, because I can be very boring, we'll continue the list in a moment. So, by the way, the Super Tenere is now the Squatch Rocket. Why? Because I traded in the Rocket 3 to get it out of my garage. I love the Rocket 3's engine. Not a big fan of the electronics. And there's another issue I won't even disclose right now about the Rocket 3. Yeah, brakes. There's that too. If you have them bled correctly, they're great. Maybe. The Squatch Rocket. I'm out there saving Bigfoots, people. Like this little rescue right here. Yes, they do exist. Meet this little guy. He wanted a ride, so I'm giving him a ride today. Let's go see if we find any more Bigfoots, and I'm telling you this, don't get your hopes up. They're really good at hiding. They are the winners of the hide-and-seek wildlife contest. So the thing about some of these Yamahas, even a 2023 like this one, And maybe there'll be another review on this one. They don't remember your traction control method when you shut them off. So, switching off traction control, there we go. Alright, where were we on the list here? We're a 2014 Triumph Bonneville. This was a test ride at a dealership. We have a 2015 Honda CTX 1300. Yeah, the CTX was supposed to be the Comfort series, but it had a really wide rear tire, and it turned worse than my Goldwing at the time. I seem to remember I had a Goldwing by then, but maybe not. You know, starting out in third's not a great idea. Works though. So, Honda CTX 1300. Had a spot for speakers, but you didn't get any. Honda CB500F. That was the little naked bike with a little bit of a fairing to it, hence the F. That was a test ride. Kawasaki Vulcan 900D. Nice bike. I don't even think I have a photo of it. Maybe. Honda CTX 700. I bought that one. It was a DCT. It's my first DCT ever. That was a nice bike. Honda VTX 1300. It's kind of like the Yamaha. It was a cruiser. Nice cruiser, but heavy. '14 Harley Davidson Ultra Limited. Now that was comfortable. It was one of the few Harleys that actually had some decent rear suspension. Let's see, how about the V-Star 250? Once known as the Virago. Yamaha V-Star 250. We bought this one at another dealership I no longer do business with because they lied to me. They said, well, you can't test ride it because we don't put oil in them. Yeah, well, the factory does. They have oil in them. Trust me, if they're on the showroom floor, they have oil in them. Somebody's going to want to start it up and listen to it. Yeah, they didn't let us test ride it. It was a cutie. It was blue. My wife felt completely comfortable on it. The clutch was snatchy, meaning it was so tight that when the oil was cold and you started the bike, it would lurch forward. So she would have me put it in the street, she'd have me start it for her. She didn't like it lurching forward. Next on the list, 2014 Victory Cross Country Tour. This bike impressed me. What didn't so much impress me about the Victories was that their power band was all in the mid-range. So you don't get the full feel takeoff as you would a Harley. You kind of had to wrap up the engine a little bit before you felt the G-forces of tug pulled in, and it didn't thrill a lot of people, and that's the problem with Victory. They might have built a superior V-twin, but it didn't feel superior, and you know, we all buy things by the seat of our pants sometimes. The 2012 Harley Sportster XL 1200. It was red, it was a chrome, it had more chrome, it had chrome added to the chrome. It was gorgeous, and I bought it. And I think that's where the V-Star 950 that I had ended up. I think we traded it for the Harley 1200. Harleys, the 1200 Sportsters, they don't start when you press the button, they explode. It was glorious. You press the start button and they just go boom! They just explode, and I probably just peaked the audio on that something fierce. Yeah, enjoyed that bike. You put a sundowner seat on it and suddenly instantly comfortable. And that was my first learning experience with Harleys. is that they seldom come from the shop comfortable. The stock seat, you slid all over it. There was no home position. So you buy the sundowner seat and suddenly you had a home position and it was comfortable. And that was nice. So next on the list, the Honda Goldwing. Yeah, this was 2003. We're at Aces Motorcycles. My wife says, I want you to test ride that one. And I said, what, the Winnebago? Really? I've never ridden anything that big. So I test rode it. I took it out. And then she said, I'm getting on the back. I'm like, oh my gosh. Biggest bike I've ever ridden, and she wants on the back. So she gets on the back, and we take it out for another test run. And she says, you are so buying this right now. And so I did. The 2003 Honda Goldwing, as I had mentioned, yeah, that bike took us to Sturgis our first time. And that would have been exactly 10 years ago, the 2015 75th anniversary. And yeah, what an experience that was. First large road trip on a bike, first large road trip on a bike 2-up, first time to Sturgis. Yeah, fun times. Hot. Man, that was a hot summer, as they mostly are up there. It was like 92 coming into Sturgis, thinking we're just going to hit like a Taco Bell and get all you can drink. No, no. A lot of places don't even have a soda fountain. You have to buy it by the bottle. Anyway, yeah, dehydrated our first year, but still a blast. It was fun. Oh, what else we got past the Goldwing? We have a 2014 Harley Street Glide. Yeah, not a fan of the riding position. 2014 Harley Road Glide. This is number 36 already, huh? The 2014 Harley Road Glide, better riding position than the Street Glide. A little more relaxed. That's where I started to like the Road Glides better. It was a hard call at first. Rode them back to back to see which one I'd like better. And in hindsight, I'd say it's the Road Glides. 2015 Kawasaki Versus 1000. So, Kawasaki dealership in Longmont, Colorado tells us they have to have a certain number of test rides. So please take out this 1000. Okay, I will take out your brand new bike. And I did, and I liked it. Did I buy it? No, but I liked it. So that was the 1000 Honda NM4. So I already had the CTX 700, and it had DCT, which I liked as well. But the NM4, I saw it in magazines long before it came out. I said, oh yes, you will be mine. And I walked in to Interstate Honda, and there was one just sitting right next to the front door. I yelled at the salesman. I said, Brian, you're supposed to call me when you got one in. And he said, Marshall, we just wheeled it out. Haven't had time yet. I said, well, write it up. And my wife's like, don't you want to test ride it first? So I probably lost money. I did so many bike deals and I didn't really read the paperwork. The CTX 700, I think I had it only for a few months. So there we go, flipping it on the Honda NM4, the Bat bike. And I had a lot of fun with that Bat bike. The thing about the NM4, and there's a really cool video I did on it, is kind of a love story. It wasn't powerful. The 700 engine is not that powerful. You'd think, oh yeah, Ninja 600 is really strong. Yeah, Honda 700, not so much. It was pretty tame. Kept it for a while. Forget what I traded it in on at the moment. Okay, Indian demos. 2016 Indian Dark Horse. I like that one a lot. That one was pretty nice. Indian Roadmaster. That was my 40th. 2016 Indian Roadmaster. I called it the Roast Master. My thighs were in pain. It was like an 87-degree day. The heat coming off that engine wasn't just a little warm. It was burning my thighs. I mean, it didn't actually, but it sure felt that way. I couldn't wait to get off that damn thing. My wife said the same thing about the seat. She thought it was hot. We're looking at it as kind of a V-twin replacement for a Goldwing. It's like, no, the Goldwing still rules that roost. 2016 Harley-Davidson Softail Slim S110. I don't know what the 110 stood for. Oh, the 110 engine. Yes, it had the 110 twin cam engine, which meant it shook slightly more. Maybe the horsepower numbers were a little higher. Harley never really advertised horsepower numbers because it was a shame, a crying shame, so they didn't. 2016 Harley-Davidson CVO Ultra Limited. CVO meant, I think, that you had the 110 in it. It had a tricolor paint job. Harley Live Wire Electric. This is 2015. This was the prototype model. The prototype had bar end mirrors under your arms. Under. You're looking at your arms. You can't see anything. The brakes, the regenerative braking was so strong you didn't need brakes. If you let off the throttle, you were stopping. Yeah, I filled out there was a form. They asked you to fill out a form what you thought of the ride. I said, price it at $15,000 or under and you might sell some. No, they priced them at $30,000. Right. Okay. Talk about an early adopter, not me. BMW K1600 GTL, that's a 2012. Top heavy, gas tank, full in your face. It's like right there at your belly. Yeah. 2000 something Kawasaki Concourse 14. I don't even remember riding it. A Concourse 14, I ended up owning one and then riding a few since, but yeah. 2015 Honda Grom. Okay, it's a Grom. It's fun, right? 2014 Triumph Rocket 3 Touring. So this is the older Rocket 3. This is the big tractor looking one. This is the one where you got to be Paul Bunyan to have arms long enough to do a tight turn on it. Nice, strong, didn't impress me a whole lot. I like the looks. 2014 Victory Vision. Strangely enough, the Victory Vision, as streamlined as it was, the wind grabbed it and shook it something fierce. I could not believe how much the wind had an impact on that, on my test ride. Also, clutch was way out there. The friction zone on the clutch was way out at the bar end. It's like, who does that? Why would you do that? Didn't like it. Oh, there's a Can-Am Spyder. I don't think we're counting that one. 2015 Harley-Davidson Road King. The 2015 Harley-Davidson Road King was nice. I actually like the Road Kings. Road Kings are nice. 2016 Indian Springfield. I really like the Springfield, which was basically Harley's Road King in an Indian. Indian Springfield felt just right. 2016 Indian Scout. Very impressive. Water-cooled engine for the first time in an Indian. I like the water-cooled engine. I like the lower weight. I like the wide wheels. 2016 Indian Chief Vintage. Okay, that one had a sloppy clutch, sloppy throttle. Felt very vintage, yeah. 2012 Honda ST1300. The ST1300, great bike. I seem to remember it putting out a lot of heat from the engine and running right up the front of my belly or crotch area. But yeah, ST1300. A lot of iron butts have been done on those. 2012 Goldwing White. I was comparing head bearings because I thought mine might be a little loose, so I wrote a 2012 white one. It didn't seem any better. Those big Goldwings, they steer really wonky when you get into parking lots. Basically, you're on sport bike tires on an almost 900-pound machine. So, yeah, parking lots. Oh, that was the white Goldwing. 2008 BMW K1200 LT. Lighter than the 1600, also a little bit top heavy. Legs are a little scrunched. 2017 Harley-Davidson Fat Bob. Fun bike. Thick tires, hard to turn, liked it though. 2017 CVO Street Ultra 114. Okay, we moved on. We're in the 114s now. I think the 114, correct me if I'm wrong, is a Milwaukee 8 engine. And I did like the Milwaukee 8 engines. They surprisingly still had some vibration in them, especially the 114. But yeah, that was a fun one. 2017 Road Glide Ultra. Um, we've ridden Road Glides. I rode the Ultra Limited. This is newer. Not a whole lot different. Still comfortable. A little bit tall for a lot of Harleys. 2009 Harley Davidson Sportster XL 1200. So my first one, what was that? What did I say it was? A 2012. This is a 2009. Once again, I had to have it. So this was the second one, the second 1200 that I had to have. Surprised I didn't write that in there. 2016 Africa Twin. Too tall, way too tall. 2016 Honda Valkyrie. Yes, it was butt ugly in the front. But once I rode it and it made me giggle, I had to have it. That was fun. Let's give you a change of scenery. I mean, the scenery's okay and all, right? So the Valkyrie. I love the Valkyrie. It had all the power of a wing and about 200 pounds less weight. No traction control, so the rear tire would break free at the green light. Talk about power and torque. I mean, this is when Harleys were not even cutting the 100 horsepower range yet. Certainly not, they were getting pretty close to the 100 torque on the twin cams. And here's a Valkyrie blowing them all away at 125 foot-pounds of torque and nearly as much horsepower. Yeah, that machine, that was one badass roadster. Sadly, it was a little short for me, and it wasn't as comfortable as a wing, no matter what you did to the seat. Hello, Piper, whatever you are. Hey, let's dump our lawn clippings right in the road. Nice. Wait till another biker hits that. Could be me later, who knows? Pay attention. Oh, after the Valkyrie was a 2006 Yamaha FJR 1300. I was really trying to love the sport touring bikes. I didn't want another great big wing, so this was an exercise in whether you want the automatic FJR or the standard FJR, because the next one was a 2008 Yamaha FJR automatic. Yeah, the automatic was a little bit different, and I'm trying to remember if that was an automatic or just a quick shifter. The first time they had a quick shifter. I don't remember. Either way, the FJRs were nice bikes. Many an iron butt has been done on FJRs, as well as the ST1300s. Great little sport touring machines. Couldn't wrap my legs around it, probably from being the pegs are behind you kind of thing. I wanted an upright, especially after owning a wing. Then you have the Victory Crossroads 2013. I almost bought this one because by then I think they had dropped them. I could be wrong, but I could have got it for $7,500. It was red. I did like the Crossroads. 2013 being a good year for, I think it was 2017 that I was looking at it. So yeah, for $7,500 that would have been a fine deal. What do we got next? How about Marshall Watch the Road? What a fine figure of a road. Oh, the Moto Guzzi Flying Fortress 2017. Oh, that was a nice machine. I already had a Goldwing though, so I didn't need to buy it, but the Flying Fortress, I would still like to own that bike. I had the NM4 still, so I rode the NM4 up next to it. So you had the Bat bike, and then you had what looked like a 1960s version of a Bat bike kind of thing. Oh, let's see, the Ninja 1000. Fast bike. Very nice bike. Really like the Ninja 1000. And the phone just darkened out on me. I really need to set that. '18 Yamaha FJR. So, you know, we got FJRs in here before. 2008, or was it a 2009 Kawasaki Concourse? I believe it was a 2008 because I bought it. I bought it, farkled it all up, and was still trying to get it to be Goldwing comfortable. No cruise control on concourses. Really missed the cruise control. No heated grips. Really missed the heated grips. 2012 Kawasaki Concourse 14. Okay, I guess that's the one that I bought.
Okay, so now we have jumped, skipped, and hopped to another space and time entirely as we were in South Dakota. And I'll let you guess what road. So, the 75th bike was my 2012 Kawasaki Concourse in the Arabian Red, but I called it root beer. So, 2003 VFR 800A. This belonged to my buddy Kevin. I got to ride it into Poudre Canyon a little bit. The 2017 Ducati Scrambler. We were looking at buying a Scrambler. We test rode this one. I don't think the numbers worked out. 2017 BMW 310. I have no memory of this one. Wow. Tiny little thing. 2011 Suzuki Boulevard Trike. Are we counting trikes? Well, it used to be a motorcycle, so we'll count it. Looking at it as a possibility for my wife, it was kind of underpowered. It didn't have a big enough engine, so we didn't buy it. 2017 Triumph T100. We bought this one. She really liked it. It was blue and white. 2016 Yamaha SR400 Kickstart. The SR400, yeah, all of 20 horsepower. I was hoping it would be more like the SR500 I used to have. No, this was a smaller version. 2018 Star Eluder. Big, heavy. Yeah, unwater-cooled V-twin. 2014 Goldwing. I bought this one. The 2014, so that would have been the red one, I believe. Had a lot of miles on it. I turned it in with 108,000 miles on it. It still sold. 2016 Triumph Bonneville T100, not water-cooled. So this one was an older one. I think it might have been carbureted. Just wanted to try it out. 2016 VFR 1200X. This is my 85th. And very nice. It was too tall. It wasn't the DCT model as I would have hoped. Yeah, tall. Almost took it on an adventure ride, but we got rained out. The 2018 Boss Haas 383 cubic inch engine V8. Took it on I-90 in Sturgis. Heavy, big, powerful. It's a statement bike. 2018 Harley-Davidson Fat Bob. I do like the Fat Bobs. By 2018, they had the Milwaukee 8 engine in it, too. 2019 Street Glide CVO. Again, Milwaukee 8 engine. Street Glide, not as comfortable as Road Glide to me. Still, nice bike. 2019 Harley-Davidson Breakout Special. Now, the Breakout, yes, very wide tire in the back. You're not going to be making any quick steering maneuvers, but not too bad. It's got the same size tires as this Rocket 3 we're currently riding. 2019 Harley-Davidson Road Glide CVO. That'd be my 90th. It's a Road Glide. It's a CVO. And 2019 gave it the Milwaukee engine. I don't remember much past that. I think I rode that one in Cheyenne. 2009 Ninja 250. Another Ninja 250. Hopefully we're still counting that one. Yes, because the prior one was not, it was older than this. 2008 Ninja 650. I bought this one. Bought it for my daughter. We lowered it. And she rode it maybe 3 times. And then moved to Denver and refused to ride motorcycles in Denver, as I probably would as well. 2018 Honda Fury. Apparently I rode a Honda Fury before. No recollection of riding a Honda Fury before the one I bought, but it's on the list. 2016 Honda CBR 650F. Naked bike with a fairing. And by fairing we mean tiny little fairing. So, fun bike. KTM RC8 1190. It's my 95th. Again, no memory. Would have been just a buzz around the block or something. KTM. You'd think I'd remember that one. 2017 Suzuki V-Strom 650. 2005 Triumph Rocket 3 Roadster. 2005 Triumph Rocket 3 Roadster. Ah, yes. Okay. Really big one. In fact, here's a photo. 2019 Harley-Davidson FXDR Sledge. Wow. Don't remember it. 2019 Harley-Davidson Softail Deluxe. Very fancy bike. I love the white wall tires. Love all the chrome. Yeah, not a bad bike at all. I like the Softails. Here's the 100th. The 2019 Honda Monkey. In commemoration of being my 100th motorcycle, it also looks a lot like the one at the very, very beginning, which was the Honda Z50. The 2020 Harley Sport Glide. 2020 Honda Fury. Bought it. Made many videos. You've probably seen them. 2021 BMW R18C. C for classic. 2019 Fat Bob modified with 117 Vance and Hines slip shots. This Fat Bob was a lot of fun because it didn't have anywhere to hang the license plate. So we're riding it without one, and sure enough we passed a cop. Fortunately, he didn't pull us over for it. Had a lot of power. And yeah, it's a Fat Bob. 2021 Harley-Davidson Pan America Special. So the Pan America just come out, and I got to try out the demo version. Interesting part of this was, 2 weeks later, I find out the demo version's engine had blendered. Probably the Nicosil lining of the cylinders took off, who knows. And the engine's all one piece now, so they had to replace the entire engine. Yeah, selling point. 2021 Zero SR/S Electric. So this was my second electric motorcycle that I've ridden. It was fast. It was a sport bike. And the range only said I had 29 miles because the battery hadn't been charged. So a 29-mile test ride, I put maybe 10 miles and returned it. Short test ride for what I really wanted to do with it. But yeah, the range anxiety was right there at the forefront. 2018 Goldwing Tour. I don't even remember the color. Well, that's 2018. No, I do. So 2018 was the new year of the Goldwing. And this was DCT. And it was fun. The 2015 Ducati Scrambler. Once again, looking at scramblers for Gwen. The price was wrong on this one as well. 2016 Ducati Scrambler. Gwen bought this one. Well, there is a video. 2020 Goldwing Standard with DCT. Different year, different color. Once again, trying out the options. 2020 Suzuki V-Strom 1050. If I recall, this took place in Oregon. And got a nice scenic ride from it. Thank you, Edge Performance Sports. 2004 Harley-Davidson Softail Deuce with Screaming Eagle 1550. Yeah, the Deuce. Enjoyable, really cool looking bike. A little old to buy though. 2002 Honda Shadow 750. I think I test rode this for somebody who wanted to buy it. 2016 Harley-Davidson Sportster XL Sport Glide. How about a lowrider? How about a 2003 V-Rod? I bought it. It was the anniversary edition. It was the anodized aluminum, aircraft aluminum. Shiny thing. Had it for about a year. Got death wobble as you'd ride it behind semi-trucks. That was kind of scary. 2021 Honda Rebel 1100 DCT. I don't even know why they call it a Rebel, because with an 1100 engine, it's a fine machine. They should have just gave it a bigger gas tank, and I would have wanted one. 2021 Triumph Rocket 3R. This was my first journey on the new Triumph Rockets. I loved it, of course, and there is a video. 2009 Star Raider. This belonged to a friend of mine, Emil's. It was Emil's bike, and very powerful. I think it had the 1900 engine in it. 2009 Honda DN01. Very rare bike. Dealers used to call it "Do Not Order One" because they were very expensive and hard to sell. We got it for a steal, and Gwen rode it quite a few miles. There is a video. 2021 Royal Enfield INT. It's the Interceptor 650. Decent bike for a decent price. 2014 Yamaha VMAX. One of the fastest motorcycles out there. Yeah, fun bike. Too bad I missed having one of those. 2022 Honda CB1000R. Naked bike, fast. 2020 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special with a 114. It's a Street Glide. What do you want? Got a lot of pull in that engine though. 2022 Harley-Davidson Road Glide Special with a 114. Even more comfortable than the Street Glide, and with the same amount of pull. 2022 Honda CB500F. Once again, another CB500, but the latest and greatest edition. 2022 BMW GS1250 Triple Black. This one was a joy. This is one of those bikes that I'd like to own, more so mentally than for reasons. I just like the way they look. Yeah. 2021 BMW GS1250 Adventure. So this is the GS, but in the Adventure with the larger gas tank, and also is the 40th anniversary. 2022 BMW R1250 RT. Basically your average cop bike. 2022 BMW K1600 Bagger. 2022 Harley-Davidson Lowrider ST. 2022 Harley-Davidson Sportster S. This was the new Sportster. Why they called it a Sportster, I don't know. '22 Harley-Davidson Fat Bob 114. Again, it was another demo event, and I just like the Fat Bobs. 2023 Honda NC750X DCT. It's number 135. Boy, we got a lot to go here. 2023, yeah, the NC750X was new, improved, and faster, a little more torque. 2023 BMW K1600 GTL. Now, this would have been the K1600 that I took to Wyoming. So the other one was at a demo event. This one I had for a long ride. 2023 BMW R18B. Another R18, and I got to ride this one all the way to the ghost town of Deerfield. There is a video. 2022 Moto Guzzi V85 TT Travel. It was a very cool test ride, and it made me go back and buy it. So, yeah, somewhere up the list here is we run into it again as I bought the 23 model. Next 1 year up. 2018 Tiger 1200 XRT. This was a red one. There's a video. 2023 Ducati Desert X. Fun bike, really spunky engine, too tall for me. 2023 Honda SCL 500. It's Honda's little foray into the scramblers. Needs a bigger gas tank though to make me happy, but most scramblers have that same size gas tank. 2024 Honda Shadow Phantom. This one got a lot of views when the video hit. I was shocked and amazed by how fast this climbed up the charts. Apparently a lot of people out there like those Honda Shadows, as I do too. Even for a 750, they seem to have enough power. 2023 Indian Pursuit. The Indian Pursuit is probably the only large Indian that I would really chase after these days. It's a really decent bike. 2023 Honda Trans Alp. Very cool. Just wish they would have gave it cruise control. Heated grips would be nice too. 2012 Yamaha Super Tenere. This was the first Yamaha Super Tenere that I got to ride, and I was very impressed by it. 2024 Harley Davidson Pan America. The 2024 Harley Davidson Pan America was completely revised. Well, mostly, somewhat revised, and has a video. 2020 Suzuki DDR 650. This belonged to a friend of mine, and we got to test ride it in the mountains. 2024 Harley Davidson Road Glide. It's a Road Glide. Little side note, I didn't mention in the video, the radio didn't work. It was playing, but there was nobody home. Nothing coming out of the speakers. Brand new from Harley. Great job. 2020 and 2021 Kawasaki Versus X300. Rode two of them. So, yeah, the 20 and the next year. There's a video. Rattlesnake in the road on that video. The 150th was a 1977 Honda CB750 Honda Matic, owned by my buddy Rusty, and still running after all these years. An automatic Honda from 1977. Very cool. There is a video. 2024 BMW R1300 GS Trophy. The takeaway on this one, the brand new R1300, is that it came from the factory with the forks not set right. I make fun of it in the video. The forks dove in the way telelevers aren't supposed to dive. Yeah, that was messed up. They fixed it now. If you go demo it now, it's fixed. 2024 Royal Enfield 350 Classic. The Royal Enfield 350, small, great for a starter bike, great for a city bike. 2024 Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. Now we're talking. 2024 Royal Enfield Scram 411. Kind of a stripped down Himalayan. 2024 Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. The slightly more modern version of the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 I rode before. 2024 Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello. This was pretty cool. It had wings. It could fly. Well, it couldn't fly, but it had these little wings that came out of the gas tank when you got anything over 50. 2016 Tiger 800 XEX. Okay. Don't remember it. 2020 KTM 690 Adventure R. Very spunky. Yeah, that engine just wanted to wheelie. 2015 Suzuki DL650 V-Strom. Wow. Okay, so the first one was a 2017. This one's the 2015. And then recently I had to write, I wrote another 2015 we're not keeping or counting on the list. So I've ridden 3 of these. 2024 Yamaha XRS 900. This is number 160. Is that all the further we are? The XRS 900. Little naked bike. Fun. Spunky. 2024 Tenere 700. This is the venerable Tenere 700. Very tall. The engine's very nice. It's very naked. Doesn't have a whole lot. 2024 R7. Yes, I've ridden an R7. Sport bike. 2024 Tracer 9 GT. Fun, but you flip through the gears a lot. There is a video. 2024 CF Moto Ibex 800T. The Ibex 800, yes, very snatchy throttle. Very surprisingly snatchy throttle. 2024 CF NK450. Now that was a fun bike. That 450 would really get on it if you really laid into it. 2024 CLX 700. This is again CF Moto. 2024 Papio by CF Moto. That's their version of the Grom. A 2010 Goldwing. This is where we were shopping for another Goldwing to take us to Sturgis. The 2010 was okay, but purple. I didn't want purple. 2016 Indian Scout. Loved it, but the lack of rear suspension beat me up pretty bad as a single rider, so riding 2 up to Sturgis was out. 2013 Triumph Trophy SE number 170. The Triumph Trophy sport riding bike, much like a BMW. This one was inexpensive though because it had issues. 2015 BMW GS 1200. Yes, the GS 1200. But do you want to buy a GS 1200 when there's a GS 1250, when there's a GS 1350, 1300, 13? Yeah, wait a year, there'll be a 1350. 2017 Honda Goldwing. I bought it. That's the one we took to Sturgis. You haven't seen very much of it because I didn't post very much of it. 2024 Indian Sport Chief. I was interested in it. Don't remember why I didn't buy it. 2024 Indian Chieftain. A lot bigger. 2024 Indian Super Scout. It's a Scout with a little bit of a fairing. A good bike though. 2021 Triumph Rocket 3 GT. I bought it. Yeah. It is all that. 2022 Ducati Diavel. The Ducati Diavel is much like the Rocket 3. Doesn't use as much gas. Smaller engine. 2021 Triumph Tiger GT Pro. I do like the Tigers, and the GT Pro is even better. 2020 BMW S1000 XR. Kind of a sport touring bike. 2024 Honda CBR 650R with the E-clutch. It's a solution waiting for a problem, an E-clutch, but I wrote it. 2022 Benelli TRL 502. Yes, the Benellis. Italian design, Chinese made. Couldn't find anything wrong with it, though. Good bike. 2025 Honda Rebel 1100T. They fixed the ergonomics. I very much more like riding the Honda Rebels now than I did before. The bars come back to me. They're not a reach. 2025 Honda NX 500. It's a good little naked bike. Got a little bit of a fairing to it, but mostly just your basic 500 with a little bit of height to it. It replaces the CB 500X. 2014 Honda CB 1100, now with 6 gear. So I've ridden one before, but this was the CB 1100 Deluxe, I think. And it's the year that you want if you want a 6 gear. 2025 Ducati Multistrada V2. That's the 185th bike. The Ducati Multistrada V2. They make a V4. The V2 is actually pretty good as well. 2016 Victory Cross Country Tour. This is a nod to the past Victory Cross Countries that I looked at. This 2016 was white and silver. Yeah, I remember the brakes on that were They were there, but in an antique kind of way. 2021 Yamaha Tracer 9. So I've ridden a... Okay then. This is a retake on the Tracer 9. I should go back and let's see what year that was for the other one, because I rode the Tracer 9 GT Pro, didn't I? This one was at Interstate Honda, and yeah, you flip through the gears a lot. 2023 Triumph Trident 660. Little naked street brawler. Fun bike. 2025 Honda NT 1100. They finally brought him to the United States, and here they are, and there's a video, and it's a very nice bike. 2025 Africa Twin Adventure Sports. This is the Africa Twin, but with a larger gas tank and electronic suspension. Very tempting. 2025 CF Moto Ibex 450. It's the smaller, lighter Ibex. 2025 CF Moto 675 SS. Super Sport? Yeah. Ninja class? Actually, yeah. It's a pretty decent bike. Pretty fast. 2025 CB750 Hornet. A lot of interest in this CB750 Hornet. And like most Hondas, does everything well. 2021 Zero DSR Black Forest. That's a recent video. An electric bike on a hot day. Yeah, my legs didn't feel any heat coming off the engine, but the batteries was complaining. 2021 Goldwing Tour DCT. That was number 195. That one had like 75,000 on it, and I wanted to try it, but I wasn't going to buy it. So how about the 2025 Goldwing Tour DCT, which I did buy, and then took it on Beartooth Pass. I took it on Going to the Sun Road. 2023 Yamaha Super Tenere ES. Sounds familiar, like the one at the beginning of this video. Yes, I bought it. 2024 Tiger GT Explorer. Took this one out while the Rocket was in the shop for something, having the brakes pumped. The GT Explorer, a little bit tall, not as heavy as the older ones. 2017 Kawasaki KLR 650. This is number 199. Kawasaki KLR 650. I'd never ridden a KLR 650, my first time, and it reminded me very much of that old DT 175, except it just needs Kickstarter. And number 200, the 2022 Boss Haas Classic Cruiser with a 383 cubic inch engine, 430 horsepower, 450 foot-pounds of torque, 6,300 cc's. Number 200. Actually, I think it's 6,275 cc's. Their website says 63. Okay, there you have it. All 200 bikes. So thanks for watching Riding with Marshall. So now that I've ridden 200 bikes, where do we go from here? What am I going to do next? 300 bikes? Share that list? I don't know. I'll keep counting the bikes, but realistically, I kind of want to be done with this list. So for right now, maybe I'll share the 201st bike, but that's about it. Moving on, just more of what I normally do. Ride bikes and tell you about them. And we'll go places. Although the going places part of my videos never seems to just catch on with YouTube, so I don't know what to do there. Anyway, thanks again for watching Riding with Marshall.